The first time I hear it, it is a thin metallic tapping, like a key being tested against a lock, one careful click at a time. It comes from inside my left ear. I stop in the gravel lot outside the storage facility and hold my breath. The late afternoon air is warm and still. Cars move on the road beyond the chain link fence. Nothing here is making that sound. Ole, ole, ole. I press my palm against my ear as if I can smother it. The tapping pauses, then resumes a little faster, like whoever is doing it has realized I'm listening. Inside the office, the attendant is watching a small television with the volume down. I tell him I think I am hearing something. I say it is coming from the building. He looks at me, then at the ceiling board. He opens his mouth like he's about to tell me it is the air conditioning. But the office is quiet except for the muted television. He shrugs and slides my contract across the counter. I do not mention that the sound started before I even walked in. My name is already printed on the paper, which is normal. The rest of the details are normal too. Gate code, access hours, the map of the facility with rows of doors and numbers. The map is wrong. I do not realize it yet. I rent the space because I need somewhere to put my father's things while I decide what to do with them. He died last month, and every box from his house feels like it is full of weight that has nothing to do with objects. I picked this place because it is close to my work and because it looks clean. New paint, bright lights, a keypad gate that beeps politely when it accepts the code. The gate rolls open. I drive in and park beside the building marked with a big painted number. I carry my first load in a taped box that smells like old paper and cedar. Oh it, oh it. The sound follows me, perfectly timed with my steps, as if a second set of footsteps is walking inside my skull. I find the corridor the map says I should use. The signs above the doors show numbers in neat black print. The first sign reads 100. The door beneath it reads 114. I stop and look again. The sign above the next door reads 101. The door beneath it reads 128. I move forward, confused, and check 3 more. The signs increase by 1. The doors jump like someone shuffled them. I pull out my phone and open the email with my rental confirmation. My space is 107. There is no door marked 107. There are doors marked 106 and 108, but they are nowhere near the signs that would suggest that. The sign that reads 107 hangs above a door marked 139. Ole, ole, ole. A cart squeaks somewhere behind me. I turn and see a man pushing a flatbed with a plastic tote on it. He wears a faded gray shirt and a cap with the facility logo. He looks like someone who has worked around dust and metal a long time. He nods at me like we have met. You are new, he says. I tell him yes and ask if the numbers are wrong. He smiles without showing teeth. They match if you look at them long enough. He says it casually, like it is a joke he has told 100 times. I laugh because I do not know what else to do. He stops his cart beside me, close enough that I can smell coffee on his breath. He looks at the paper in my hand. 107, he says before I can show him. It is around the bend. I freeze. I did not say the number. I tell myself he saw it on my phone or on the contract. But my phone is in my pocket and the contract is folded. He keeps talking. You are the one with the oak dresser and the box of photographs you keep saying you will sort later. My throat tightens. I have told nobody about the dresser. I have not even moved it yet. It is still in my garage. I manage to ask how he knows. He shrugs. I know what people bring. I hear things. The tapping in my ear speeds up. A nervous stutter. He points down the corridor. Keep going until the sign says 107. Then you stop at the third door after it. Not the one under it, the third one. I ask why. He looks at me like I am the one being slow. Because that is how it is. He pushes his cart away, wheels squealing, and vanishes around the corner. I stand there with my box and listen. The building hums with fluorescent lights. Somewhere a roll-up door rattles as someone else opens it. The sound in my ear keeps tapping, steady now, like a metronome. I do what he said, because I want to get this done. Because I want to put my father's things somewhere that is not my living room. Because I do not want to standing alone in a group of wrong numbers thinking about how stranger described a garage. I find the sign that reads 107. Under it is a door marked 142. I count 3 doors after it. The third door is marked 119. The key the office gave me fits. The lock clicks, and for a moment the tapping in my ear syncs with it so perfectly that I feel nauseated. Inside is an empty concrete room with a faint smell of mildew and cardboard. A single bare bulb buzzes. The light feels too bright for the small space. The door rolls down with a metal rattle. When it hits the ground, the tapping in my ear stops. The silence is immediate and intimate, like someone pressed their finger to my lips. I stand in the darkened corridor again and realize I have been holding my breath. That night at home, the tapping returns when I wash my hands. It starts the moment I touch the cold faucet handle. Ole, ole, ole. I turn off the water and it stops. I tell myself it is stress. Grief does strange things. People get tinnitus. People hear their own pulse. But my pulse does not sound like a key trying a lock. The next day I bring more boxes. Each time I enter the facility, the tapping begins. Each time I unlock my door, it matches the lock. Each time I close the door, it stops. By the third visit, I avoid the office. I punch the gate code and drive in, pretending everything is fine. On the 4th visit, a folded piece of paper is tucked into the hasp of my lock. It is not there when I arrive. I would have seen it. I am looking at the lock because I hate the moment before the tapping stops. I am always braced for it now. The paper appears between the time I set down my box and the time I pull out the key. My skin prickles. I am folded. The note is handwritten in careful block letters. It is addressed to me by name. It says, "You keep the small silver key in the back pocket of the black jeans you do not wear anymore." My mouth goes dry. That key is for my father's old desk. I found it in his kitchen drawer and put it in that pocket. pocket without thinking. I have not worn those jeans since the day I cleaned out his house. The note continues. You should not bring the photographs yet, not until you remember which one you hid. There is no signature. I stare at the words until the letters blur. The tapping in my ear is silent. The building is silent too, as if it is listening. I look up and down the corridor. Bright lights. Closed doors. No one. I crumple the paper in my fist, then force myself to smooth it out again. My hands are shaking. I do not know why I keep it, but I do. I unlock my door. The tapping starts, perfectly aligned with the key turning. Inside my storage space, I set down the box and stand very still. The air is cooler than the corridor. The concrete walls hold a damp chill. I open the box I brought, not because I need to, but because I need something normal to do. It is full of books from my father's shelves, hardcovers with cracked spines. I look at the titles without seeing them. My mind keeps circling the note. Which photograph did I hide? I do not remember hiding any photograph, but when I try to think back, I hit a blank spot, like a missing tooth I keep touching with my tongue. I leave without finishing. In the corridor, the numbers over the door seem to have shifted. The sign that read 108 yesterday now reads 110. The door under it is still marked 121. I stop and look around, and for a moment I cannot remember which way leads to the exit. The tapping in my ear resumes, slow and patient. It feels like it is guiding me. I followed, and I find the exit without ever being sure I chose the right turns. At home, I spread the note on my kitchen table and stare at it. I hold it up to the light, looking for impressions, for a watermark, for anything that makes it less impossible. I check my jeans. The silver key is exactly where the note said it would be. I sit on the edge of my bed and try to remember my father's photographs. I remember shoeboxes of prints. I remember him laughing at the way everyone blinked in old pictures. I remember a framed photo of my mother he kept on his desk even after she left. And then I remember myself, younger, angry, standing in his office with that framed photo in my hands. The memory is not clear. It is a sensation more than an image. The weight of the frame, the heat in my face. I swallow and taste something metallic. The tapping starts again, right on cue, like it knows I have touched the right nerve. I sleep badly. I dream of corridors with signs floating above doors, the numbers sliding like they are on wet glass. When I go back to the facility, the man in the gray shirt is waiting near my row. He is not pushing a cart this time. He is just standing with his hands in his pockets, relaxed. He nods like we are continuing a conversation. You read it, he says. I do not ask what he means. I hold up the note. He leans in and squints at it, as if he has never seen it before. Then he smiles. That is for you, not for me. I ask him who wrote it. He tilts his head. You do not recognize the handwriting. It is not a question. I look at the letters again. Careful block print. It could be anyone. It could be me. My stomach turns. He steps closer. He does not smell like coffee today. He smells like dust and something faintly sweet, like old cologne. You used to come here with him, he says. I shake my head. I have never been here before. He makes a soft sound, almost pitying. You have been here, not this building, not this paint, but you know the doors. The tapping in my ear is loud now, rapid, like someone is trying keys on a ring. I tell him to stop. I do not know what I mean, but I say it anyway. He raises his eyebrows. Stop what? I grip the note so hard it creases. How do you know about the photographs? How do you know about my father? He looks past me at the mismatched numbers. Like it is casual, he says. People store what they do not want to look at. People store what they cannot throw away. People store what they did. My mouth tastes like bile. He points at my door. You should check the back wall. I do not move. He keeps his voice calm. You will feel better if you see it. I want to leave. I want to get in my car and never come back. But my feet move anyway, drawn by the same impulse that makes you touch a bruise. I unlock the door. The tapping syncs with the lock, and then stops when the door rolls up. Inside, my boxes are stacked the way I left them, but something is different. The air feels disturbed, like someone has been in here and the room has not settled yet. I step inside and look at the back wall. There is a rectangle of cleaner concrete near the floor, like something has been laying there for a long time and recently moved. My hands go cold. I did not put anything against the back wall. I crouch and run my fingers along the concrete. It is rough, dusty, except for that pale rectangle. Behind me, the man says, you can stop pretending you do not remember. I spin around. He is still outside the door, leaning on the frame like he owns it. I tell him to get away from my space. He smiles again, small and patient. Your father called it a safe place. You called it hiding. The tapping starts again, not in my ear this time, but in the room. It is faint at first, metal on metal, coming from somewhere behind the back wall. I freeze. The man listens, head tilted, like he is enjoying music. Play. I press my palm to my ear out of habit, but the sound is not inside me now. It is in the concrete. The man says, nobody believes you when you say you hear it. That is the best part. The tapping becomes a scrape, like something dragging along the locked surface. I back up until my shoulders hit my stacked boxes. The smell of paper and dust fills my nose. I ask him who he is. He answers like it is a minor detail. I am the one who keeps track. The tapping stops. In the sudden quiet, I hear something else, a soft exhale from behind the wall, like someone breathing through a narrow gap. The man watches my face closely, casual, almost friendly. Now you hear it too, he says. The light bulb above me flickers once, and the facility S overhead lights outside dim in sympathy. I look at the back wall, at that clear clean rectangle, and I understand with a sick clarity that whatever used to rest there is not a piece of furniture. The man reaches into his pocket and pulls out a key. Dual, solar, the same kind of key that is in my jeans at home. He holds it up between two fingers. He does not offer it. He just shows it, like a magician revealing the trick. He says my name softly, as if we are alone somewhere intimate. Then he says, tell me where you put the photograph. Behind the wall, the tapping starts again, faster, desperate. I open my mouth to answer, and the sound in the concrete changes into something like fingernails searching for a seam. The roll-up door behind him begins to lower on its own, 1 inch at a time, with no one touching it. I lunge toward it, and the lights go out.